Welcome to Rickshaw Scale Modelling. This is part 7 of MinArt British M3 Lee Scale 1 to 35. In part 6 I made up the turrets. In part 7 is going to be completing the build, so I'm putting all the other little parts on and painting. So let's jump into this and see how I get on. I'm starting off painting on sprue here, and I'm using River Aquacolor 90 Silver, and this is for all the spades, the iron bars and things that go on around the tank. Before I carry on though, there was one thing I did forget to do, and that was place on the house and on the gun sights. So I've just done that there now while I'm waiting for the silver to dry. Then I'm moving on to River Aquacolor 382 Wood Brown, and these are for the handles. Now I know they really should be the same colour as the tank, but I've always preferred to do them with wooden handles, just so they stand out more on the actual tank itself. So it's just how I prefer them. So now I'm just going back to the main colour, which is River Aquacolor 16 Sandy Yellow, and these are the brackets that hold the tow cable. And then River Aquacolor 86 Olive Brown, and this is for all the canvas bags and so forth that are going to be placed on the side of the tank. And then it's back to River Aquacolor 16 Sandy Yellow to start putting on the main coat of paint. So just the first coat going on at the moment, and then once that's dried I'm putting on the second coat. And as you can see where the wheels are, it's a slightly paler colour. That's because there's only one coat on there, and it gives that dusty, withered look. Because you don't want it too bright on the inside where all the muck and dirt is actually going to be accumulated. Sometimes when you add less, that is better than adding more to weather. So it's a matter of balance really. So now onto the tow cable. No, the kit doesn't come with a tow cable, it says scratch build one. So what I've got here is some rope that I use for ship rigging, and I'm just going to use that as a tow cable. Because it's corded, it looks a little bit like cable. So I'm attaching this to the main brackets just with a little bit of super glue. And then I'm using Tamiya's X10 gun metal, and I'm going around all the little barrels and guns and painting that in. I should point out though, I didn't notice it until now that I'm editing the video. The little black line that you see on the edge of your screen, that's actually my lens cover that I must have knocked while building, and I didn't realise it had moved. There's more 4H brackets to make up for these little parts for the spade, as you can see there. Same again, just bending the brackets into shape. And it's back to the tow cable, and it's River Aquacolor 91 steel to paint the cable. As you can see, I've got it pulled taut through my little crocodile club vise here, and I'm just painting the actual rope the desired colour. And in the end, it does actually look like a bit of cable. So now everything's dry, I can place them onto the tank. So first of all, the little spade is going on, and then the axe and crowbar will be going on next. And they'll be getting all placed on where I put the 4H brackets originally. And these ones are all secured with a little bit of super glue, not normal cement, because of the 4H parts. And now for the tow cable, that gets wrapped around the main spade. So what I did was I attached, anchored it at one point, got that in position, and then proceeded to coil it around and anchored it as I went along. Now I'm moving on to the canvases that go around the tank. These are getting attached to the long rail bracket that I placed on. Each side has slightly different parts to it, but there's no hard or fast rule where how they should go on really. Once everything was dried, I'm giving it a good coat of Pledge Clear. And once the varnish is dried and hardened, I'm going back over areas with Winsor & Newton matte varnish, and I'm placing this on the shroud and on the canvas bags as well, because obviously you don't want them to have a shine to them, you want them to have a flat look. And now I'm moving over to Tamiya's Weathering Master E, and I'm using the green component here to go over the rivets. So this is the start of the weathering process. So I'm just taking my brush stamper with the pigment on it and gently going over the rivet areas. Now if you're doing this, it doesn't matter if you go over, because it is weathering, it's meant to be a little bit messy. Also it depends on whether how heavy you want to do it. But you're just looking at gradually to build up the marks and the surface scratches and so forth as you go along. And then it's Tamiya's Weathering Master Series B, and I'm using the soot and rust components here to mark up the tank. The rust is predominantly on the skirt that I'm using, and the soot is just going to be dotted around here and there to make marks in line with the rivets and so forth that I put on with the green. So as I said, it's just it's builder's choice really, how much you want to put on. The difficulty is stopping when you think that it's not quite enough, you want to get a little bit more in. That's probably the time to stop. I should also point out, I just painted the name of the tank on the bottom, on the underside. This is something I do just so that down the line, if I can't remember what sort of tank it is, just so I've got some identification marks. Generally, I will have a decal, the name decal, and place it on. But I wasn't putting any decals on, and I couldn't find the decal sheet anyway, so I just painted it on freehand. So you can see it all starting to build up and come together now. And as I'm doing this is where I'll bring part 7 to an end. In fact, this will be the build complete after this process. The next part of the video will be the final reveal. So if you haven't done so already, why don't you check out the channel for my other builds? As I said before, there's quite a lot on there now, so maybe there'll be something that will hold your interest. If you like what you see, why don't you subscribe to the channel, and if you do so, hit that notification bell. That will keep you updated on all my upcoming builds and current builds that I've got going on. Hit that like button, leave a comment. Don't mind what the comment is, as long as it's constructive. I really don't mind. I will try and respond to comments as well, and don't forget to share the video. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.